G'day guys, Josh Huggett here from Joshua Huggett Media, and welcome to Tog Talk, a show where we talk about stuff. And today we've got the international sensation, the worldwide glamazon, fucking Lauren Ashley here, all the way from America. How exciting is that?
Hi. I'm actually, you know what? In real life, I wish I could hug you, like, so bad. Like, you know, I have talked about you so many times. And then I was getting text messages from people. They're like, Josh is talking about you online. And I was like, all right, Josh, we need to set this up, okay?
We need to.
So I'm actually really happy to be here.
One day we will all be in the same room. I don't know when it's going to be, but there's just going to be like a big group cuddle with me and my Laurens, and Michael can be there, I guess. And we'll bring Summer in,
Cassidy.
and Cassidy can be there, and just bring everybody together. It'll be great.
I love that. I am a planner, so if we're going to do it, I am definitely one, like, let's set a month and like figure it out.
I also need to set a month because I work when you guys do fuck all. When you're all on holidays and doing nothing, that's my busy season. So like WPPI, I shoot 15 weddings that month. Like there's no just ducking to America for, you know, like, oh, just fly over for the weekend. Like, no, that's my working weekend.
We'll figure it out. Sometimes it's like really hot here, even in New York. So like, I bet if we found a date like in August of next year or something, I'm sure we can make it work.
That would work. See, August is my quiet season.
Perfect.
It was actually, August is when my season starts. So I would kind of need to know. Anyway, that's Justin's job. Justin, after shoot, Veronica, Lorena, they can figure that out. I've been DMing them as well.
I've been texting Veronica. I actually talked to her yesterday, but yes, they're amazing. After shoot, love them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I had that. I pre-wrote a spiel in my head. I was like, yeah, glamazon, that's a great fucking word for Lauren. International sensation, good. And then I had after shoot ambassador, but I forgot to add that little bit in. But after shoot ambassador as well. All right, Loza, can you tell us all about you? For those people that don't know who you are, because you're a high-end wedding photographer and I'm really fucking not. So we have very different markets here. So there is a very real possibility that some of my audience don't know who you are, just like I'm sure your audience wouldn't really know who I am.
So my name is Lauren. I'm Lauren Ashley Grenda. I live in America. I am from Chicago, Illinois. I photograph mostly high-end weddings. It actually happened by accident because I went viral by accident and wound up accidentally acquiring a bunch of followers, which is amazing now. But I didn't know how I did it at first. And then all of a sudden I started getting phone calls. I have photographed royal weddings, you know, in Italy. I have photographed celebrity weddings. I have photographed extremely wealthy people. I have signed a plethora of NDAs. And it's a really cool life. Like, I mean, I love it. And
go
ahead.
How often are you traveling for work? So are you still in Chicago?
Yes.
So how often? So is every wedding outside of Chicago now, essentially?
Not for a minute. It was not every wedding. It used to be like 50-50, and then I realized that I needed to be home with my family. So my son, if people don't know who I am, my son is severely special needs. He's autistic. He's
a fucking legend at the gym now.
He is a legend at the gym. He's doing a great job. He's 14. He really got me into wedding photography because, you know, when you're a parent, you're like, I want to find a career where I could stay home with them and make a living, right? So I wound up falling into that by accident initially because for the money. I found out you can make money in wedding photography. So I tell people I shot my first wedding for $500 US, went home that night, laid in bed, and I was like, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. Like, I just knew. So, but then fast forward, people that don't know my story, I will share my story. Is that okay, Josh? I'll kind of quickly go through it.
I know it reasonably well, but it's fucking sick and you need to share it. And I'm not fucking Lauren, so I'm not going to cry. I'll try not to cry. I did, when I listened to it in the car, I cried, but now, strong boy. I'm on coffee today. I'm not. It's not
Awesome.
post wedding, so my emotions aren't as
Right.
high. Go, Loz.
So the people that do know me, obviously you guys know this story. However, I've gone through a lot of hard times in my life. And the reason I like to tell these stories, most people wonder why I tell these stories, is because there's so many people in the world that go through them and nobody talks about it. People don't talk about being SA'd when they're children. People don't talk about delivering your children at 25 weeks at 1 pound 6 ounces. People don't talk about how hard it is to raise a child with severe special needs. And then I went through an extremely abusive relationship, left that relationship with a lot of debt, got into another relationship. Now, while that relationship wasn't abusive, he was a severe alcoholic. And I wanted to save him. And he was a wonderful man, but, you know, addiction is a real thing. And during COVID, he wound up relapsing multiple times. And I was trying to save him. I mean, I remember trying to drag him to the hospital, doing all these things just because he kept saying, like, you know, really weird things. And then he wound up drinking and driving. He had multiple DUIs. And one day he got pulled over, and this was like his 5th DUI. We talked to a lawyer, and the lawyer's like, you're going to prison. And for him, he was losing everything. He worked for me full time. He was losing his family. He was losing me. He was losing his life. And for him, he decided to end it. But the hardest part for me was I was the one to come home and find him. And when you're going through trauma and grief, it just becomes a cloud. Like, your body protects itself. Like, you know, and if you guys are listening to this and you've gone through trauma, you kind of know exactly what I'm talking about. The reason I am where I'm at today is because I had an influx of people that I barely even knew come into my life and just love me, like show me a love that I've never experienced. People that have experienced trauma, people that, you know, I have my best friend, Nicole Gonzalez. She's Aspen Avenue. She's an amazing photographer. Showed me love at a level that I've never experienced from a female at a platonic level. She lived with me for 6 months. She stuck by my side, and I love telling this story because she makes me emotional because she's such a good, she allowed me to be emotional. Like, you know, we live in a world, especially in America, toughen it up. Like, don't cry, like, don't show emotion. And she allowed me to feel again. Because I've kept going through all this hard time, and it was always like pushing it down, and she allowed me to kind of like feel that emotion and that pain and that grief. And she told me, even after she moved out, I'm going to call you every day. Every day, you don't even have to answer, but I'm going to call you every morning. And as I get emotional thinking this, it's been almost 5 years, and she still calls me every morning.
That's
and
cool.
I love her so much. And you know, I don't know, there are the people that we are connected with that have gone through hard times. And when they were going through a hard time, I just remember being like, I'm here for you, and I love you, and I'm going to support you. And they're like, why are you doing this? And I told her, I was like, I'm doing it because I know what it's like to go through a really hard time, and people just think you're going to be fine. And you're just going to move on and, you know, get over it. And sometimes you just need love and support. And how I like added it into my wedding photography was I changed as a person. I started to feel more. I started to realize the meaning of a photograph, and I put more emotion into it because I know what it was like to lose someone that I loved. So the thought of every time I take a photograph of grandma or the parents or a moment, like, it meant so much more to me. And then when I was showing my emotion on the internet, I was shocked on how many people were like, we want to see more of this. Like, your vulnerability is a superpower. And that was where I started teaching other photographers and even being more open on the internet about authenticity and vulnerability.
Because you had a whole series of videos about everything that sort of happened before you really went into wedding photography, didn't you? Or was that at the same time?
That was at the same time, but my career really took off after that.
Yeah.
Because people were like, so I was honestly afraid that people were going to stop hiring me because I'm like, I'm crying on the internet. So you see me dressed up now, but I tell people, I'm like, you will see the worst parts of me online. But people started hiring me more, not less. And people were like, not afraid of it. And at first I didn't understand why. But the more I talked to people, they were like, oh, I got goosebumps thinking about this. But like, I had a situation where like the bride was terminally ill. And she's like, I couldn't imagine anyone else being able to handle this better than you, because I don't want anyone to feel bad for me. I want someone to come in and love me. And actually too, because of that, I photographed terminally ill people and terminally ill pets for a very relatively cheap fee, but just to kind of pay for, because I started doing it for free, and then I started taking up too much of my time. But my grief and my hardest times have made me a better person and has allowed me to give back to the world in ways that maybe other people can't.
So I had a somewhat similar, but not entirely similar experience at the start of not the start of my photography business, but like at the beginning ends of it, in that I was dating a girl at the time, Inga. I dated her for a while and she was great. She was bubbly. She was 21, full of life. Like, we just used to go around. We had a fucking great little time. And then one day I woke up and she like didn't reply to any text messages or anything. And I was like, that's fucking weird. Like, so I was texting her throughout the day, like, what's going on? Blah, 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 blah. Went and worked my shift at the nursing home that I was in at the time. Finished my shift at the nursing home. And then I was like, fuck this. Like, I need to go find out what's going on. So I drove to her house and I found her. And she'd had an aneurysm at like fucking 21, like, healthy as shit, like probably one of the healthiest people you'd ever fucking meet. Used to go on hikes, like was vegan, so she was eating clean, she was like hiking, she was everything. And then it was just like a genetic aneurysm that one night she just like didn't wake up and she was just gone. And then and I found her. And I remember when you were saying like your body goes into like a shutdown mode, I essentially did that for ages. And just like, I kind of drank through it, but never like too much. Not the best. Just why I don't tell my story too much, because mine's not.
No, that's okay. I'm gonna I'm worried about you, Josh. No, I'm just kidding.
My way of coping with it's wasn't the best way. Like, I didn't drink heaps. Like, I lived with my parents at the time because I was in between houses, so they like fucking like grabbed me. But because I had that and went through all of that, and that's when I sort of had a tipping moment in my life where I was like, I could literally be dead tomorrow. Like, I could at any point in life, you could just not wake up the next day. Why the fuck am I like wandering around worrying what people think, or like wandering around wondering if I annoy someone? Because like, they won't fucking care. I'll be gone. I'm out of here. And that's when we kind of like
I love that, Josh. I didn't know that about you. Is this the first time you talked about it?
I don't talk about it heaps online, but that's on the pod. Maybe I mention it in passing. I never go into it too much because like, I don't know. I just don't like crying heaps. But and it's just like, that was pre-photography, so that just kind of like changed my mentality. But then when you had your friend come in who fucking rings you every day, that was my wife. She like, I told everybody, I was like, I don't want anybody. Like, I'm not looking for a relationship. I don't want anything. I'm never gonna be in love again. I'm gonna spend the rest of my days alone. I'm okay with that. I'm cynical. Fuck everything. Fuck the world. And then she came in and she's like, that's cool. I appreciate that. But let's just like hang out. Cause my mate and her cousin were mates, and they were like, these two are going to be fucking perfect for each other. And I was like, nah, fuck that. I don't want anything. And then my wife came in. She was also like, yeah, fuck the world. But like, let's just do whatever. And then I was like, yeah, but we're not getting in a relationship. And she's like, yeah, man, that's fine. And now we've got like fucking 2 kids, and it's just,
I love that.
it's still here. She just never fucking left. still here.
I could say that about my boyfriend now, actually.
Yeah, you. I didn't want to be the one to bring it up.
No, I love it. You know what? I've said this on my stories.
Is this
if
where
you
you're
guys
going
do
to drop
follow
a
me.
sleigh? This is where you get all, you might drop a sleigh?
No,
here?
no, no. I don't drop slaves or queens or anything. If my friend Nicole was here, she was. But I'm a little bit older than them. So my boyfriend, who, like, I'm obsessed with him now. Like, I love him so much. But I was like, I don't want to do this. I'm not going to date you. Like, I'm going to ruin you. I'm going to break your heart. Like, I'm too messed up. I come with an autistic kid, a dead boyfriend, like, all this stuff. Like, are you really want to do this? We were like 8 months in. I was like, oh, I'm just going to have fun and date him, you know. But one day my son was having a meltdown, and I was like, are you sure you want to even be with me? And he was like, yes. And with him, too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that
I
was
saw
it
that
for
story.
me.
It was fucking sick.
Yeah, I was like, so now I'm like head over heels in love with him. He's amazing.
So but it was that tipping moment where that was my sort of proper content creation starting was back when Inga passed away. Because I was like, fuck this, I just need to record stuff. And like you said, the meaning of taking photos becomes so much more. And that's when I started making videos, and that was 2016, I think I started making videos on the internet. And that's like, I've got my first vlog and it's me and I'm fucking tired and I'm standing in a field and I'm like, I'm just going to start. I'll just make a piece because I was like on bereavement leave. Is that the one? Sad leave. Cry leave is what I called it because that's all I fucking did.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah. I don't know what they call it here.
Yeah, I was on some sort of leave that when something bad happens, you can go on leave and
They
your
let that
workplace is
happen in
like,
Australia. They don't do
yeah,
that in America.
yeah, but it's because we care about our people here. It's not like America.
Correct. 100%. I mean, I was working as a wedding photographer at the time. So I had a wedding the next weekend and I was like, I want to go back to work. And everybody's like, no, like, don't go back to work. And I was like, I wanted to go back to work because it was the only thing that didn't make me feel sad was working.
Yeah.
So, but my friends were like, no. But I went and shot a wedding 2 weeks later and had an extra photographer there just in case. And it was fine.
I did that, and then it was like that's when I started recording everything. But much like you said with like how you figure out how much more a photo means, I had the same realization in aged care when I was like, because I worked with, for those of you that don't know, I worked aged care for 11 years, looked after people for the last 2 years of their lives. Like I did most of that in memory support, so it was all about bringing back as many memories as possible because they've all got dementia and they're starting to lose their marbles, so we're trying to fucking bring them back. And all of that was through photos. We would sit there with like a photo album, but there would be huge gaps, or like you'd look at wedding photos and all the wedding photos were people just like prim, posed and proper and just like standing still. And I was like, there's no like emotion in these photos. Like there's nothing really happening. They're just standing. And that's just like the times. They're putting fucking curtains over their head to take the photos. They don't have the technology that we have now. But that's when every wedding now I try to get a really nice portrait of the grandparent. Like, because that's probably, they've had their hair done. They're fucking dressed up nice. It's a weird brag. But my photos have been on the top of so many caskets now because that photo is like...
I know. So my full-time girl is named Mallory, and we were photographing him, the grandpa, and we're like, get a shot of him. And we don't mean to... So when you work in healthcare and you say nursing homes or end-of-life care and have gone through trauma, you have to laugh. Like, we laugh at our trauma, right? Or like... But we were photographing him, and me and Mallory were like, this is going to be his, like, memorial photo. Like,
this is the one. This
is probably the last time. I mean, and we don't mean to laugh. We were just like, he was extremely old. He barely could stand, like, But we were, like, doing things, and I don't know if you do this. We have, like, the bride and groom, like, kiss him on the cheek. Or we, like, freeze that moment where they're, like, giggling and stuff like that. And every single time they're like, we are so grateful you took those photos. But if we didn't go through that trauma, we might not have thought about that.
And just, like, Nobody takes nice photos of their grandparents. There's always like shitty photos on their phones. I'm just such an old person guy. Just fucking love old people. Always have. Their stories are the best. The things they've gone through, no one else will ever go through ever again. Like my grandparents, that I've still got one left, but they were in England and then they just packed everything up, sent it to Australia, and then just got on a boat for 3 months. And we're like, well, let's just go start everything in a different country with nothing. Yeah, we've got to...
Damn.
Like, that's fucking wild. They were called 10-pound poms back in the day. So you could buy... It was £10 and you could buy a ticket to Australia. And then you would come over here, and my grandpa was in the Navy, so he like got a job when he landed here. And then they just come over and you're a 10-pound pom. And they literally put all of the poms together. Poms, for those of you that don't know any English slang, I'm pretty sure it's prisoner of Her Majesty is the thing, because you'd live under the Queen, but they're all called poms.
Interesting. I did not know that. Well, good for them.
Let's talk actual wedding photography.
People are like, this is like, I can't stand this. Some people are probably like, fast forward.
Why are they still just fucking crying at each other on the internet? So how long have you been shooting weddings, and how many do you shoot now? Like a year?
So I have been shooting since I shot my first wedding in 2014, the summer of 2014. So that would be like 11 years. And when I first started, I actually really pushed for associate weddings. So we were doing like 100, like in 2016, we were doing like 100 to 150 weddings a year. I don't do that anymore.
How? Because I did the same thing. So we were shooting 125 weddings a year here.
Okay.
And we're currently in the process of rebuilding out our associate business. But
Okay.
what terrifies me is now that I shoot mainly single studio, so like Joshua Huggett Media is just me, and then we have the Candid Company, which is all of my associates. They have their own brand. If I lose like 2 weddings, if we get cancellations for like 2 weddings, that's a big chunk of my little income that's gone. That terrifies me. That's why I always liked associates.
When I was going through it and doing it, when something bad happened and I got through it, the next time you're like, it's not so bad. Like, I can say this online because everything worked out, but I had an associate lose, it was the same photographer, lose 2 weddings of all of the bride getting ready, all of her entire ceremony, all of her formals, and half of her creative session. She had a strong second, and I refunded them, and they gave me grace that I felt like I did not deserve. But then it happened a second time. The only saving grace that I had was they had video, and then they wound up getting a divorce like 3 months later. So, but yes, you're right. Like, I mean, bad stuff happens. That's where it's like you kind of have to be prepared, like, to give money back and stuff like that. But that's why I was like, I wound up not doing that. I have a full-time girl, Mallory, who works for me. We can do with my closest friends, we could do up to 3 weddings on a weekend. But I mean, I love to shoot though, so we'll do like Friday, Saturday, Sunday sometimes.
And and this is where like my business has always been a little bit different, is that I really enjoy the shooting aspect. So I'm still shooting 50, 60, 70 weddings a year, which is why I can't come to WPPI, because I work all the fucking, as soon as it's hot outside, I'm shooting weddings. But yeah, it was just like going back to being a single person studio. So it's just me. All the income is entirely reliant on me. Because I don't have seconds or anything. Like I don't bring second shooters. I don't bring anything. I just go and shoot a wedding by myself. Yeah, but I don't have to carry a fucking flash around, Lauren.
That's true.
I don't need an assistant to hold a light over.
No.
I'm a natural light photographer. I'm natural light.
I like. Okay.
But like I don't have any
flash.
assistants. I shoot both photo and video by myself, only person on the day.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I love that. I mean, and I'm not making fun. I'm being serious. Like, I mean, I love that. And I will preach this to other people when I am teaching. I'm like, having an assistant was the best thing I ever did for myself. Because
dropping assistants was the best thing I ever did for myself.
Really?
Yeah.
How old are you, Josh?
33.
Okay. So right when I turned about 35 is when I got
how convenient. 2
No, I'm
years away.
serious. You'll hit 35 and you'll be like, my body's like, Like,
Yeah, my
seriously.
body, mine's more, and this is what I tell my couples as well, is that like, I don't want many people in the room because so much of what we do, and I think this is probably entirely a client-based thing where I feel like your clients are more ready and prepared for a bit more of a production because they've got fucking Lauren Ashley. They know they're getting a glamazon fucking photo, like they're going to get these big things. I work primarily 99.99% of the time with people that don't want their photo taken. They're incredibly uncomfortable in front of the camera. They're like really awkward around each other, like awkward in front of a camera. So the more people that I bring into the room, the more they're kind of going back into their own shells and they're kind of like, you know, becoming more reserved. Or if it's just me, like I just turn up on a wedding day, I come in casual clothes because I just want to like hang out. I want to give a relaxed nature straight away. Like they turn up, oh, Josh is here. Like, oh, he's, you know, just come to hang out. And then we just sit and we talk all day. I'll take candids as things happen. I tell stories throughout the entire day, and it's just the three of us. If we go and do a couple session, there's just three people there, the couple and me. And I tell them to go and like walk away from me and go somewhere else. So it's just the two of them. There's no production. There's nothing else there. They can actually be themselves. And because we've been side by side all day, I'm kind of just in this little throuple where we all kind of hang out together. And I feel like it makes them feel more comfortable because there's less people around with cameras and there's less happening. And it's why I try not to use flash really at all until the dance floor opens. I would rather use solid lights. Like first dance, I use solid lights. Speeches, we use solid lights. Dance floor, I use flash because I need to because there's movement. But like if we can use solid light for most of it, we will, so that even the guests aren't aware that we're taking photos. So I'm able to get like a real emotional shot of someone and they've got no idea that I've taken a photo of them because they haven't seen that, boom, you know, like that boom of the flash hitting them or like something like that. And then they can just continue living their emotions without even knowing that like we've already got a 15-second video clip of them crying and I've taken 17 photos of the same thing. And they're just still like completely in that moment. I'm just like a fly on the wall for the parts that I need to be a fly on the wall. People get this whole like perception that like, oh, why the fuck would you hire him? He makes the entire wedding about himself. It's like I make the entire wedding about myself in the parts that I need to. So if I'm organizing a group photo, yeah, that wedding's about me because that's my photo that I'm fucking taking.
Yeah.
The aisle photo, I step in for the aisle photo because that's what I get fucking paid for, is that aisle photo when they're coming back down. That's all I'm really there for. That, a group photo, and some fucking nice pictures of them kissing. And then, yeah, during the bridal party session, I step in because I need to because it's Australia and everybody's drunk and they're doing whatever the fuck they want. So, but after that, I'm like a fly on the wall. I just fucking hang out with the couple. I'm just always 3 or 4 meters away, you know, about 50 millimeter 1.2 distance from getting a nice like portrait, and I just kind of hang out and we're just there. Whereas I feel like your couples are more ready for someone to be there with a flash and an assistant. And if you tell, especially now that you're high end, now that you're in this luxury market, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the more people that you bring, the higher the perceived value of the package is immediately. Like, oh fuck, Lauren's bringing 3 people. Like, whoop, we've got to like it. Yeah, we're getting our money's worth here.
So I have a question. Do you create a timeline and allot time for portraits? Mm-hmm. You do.
Yeah, so everything that we do on the back end of my business is as rigid as shit. Like we have a timeline from the moment we get there that is in like half an hour increments, and I know everything that's happening within every single minute of that day. But we also allow 5-10 minutes buffer either side of everything, so that I've got time up my belt. So I know and we always work the same day. Like I only work a 10-hour wedding day. Every single weekend, I work 10 hours. Every single weekend, the timeline is pretty much exactly the same. Like,
okay,
I start at midday till 1, I'm with person 1, typically a boy. From 1 till 2:30, 3 o'clock, I'm with the girls. or person 2, and then we go to the ceremony, then we do the family photos, then we do the couple session, then we do the reception. It's the same day, so I kind of know it off my head.
Because, like, in America, we really push that first look to get time for pictures. So that's not a thing in Australia.
Why don't you do it after the ceremony?
They go and visit. And I tell people, like, you're going to have such a better wedding because you're visiting with everybody, like, all the people from in town, everything like that. So every wedding is different. But I push for the first look. In America, sometimes they do have, like, a church. But in a lot of cases, they've, like, changed it where, like, they're just at the venue. So the ceremony is at, like, I'm going to get time wrong, but 4 p.m., right, let's say, and then they go into cocktail hour, and then they just go to cocktail hour, like, with the family.
Yeah, so what we'll do is rough timeline. 12 o'clock start with the boys, 12 till 1, boys getting ready. Like, boys getting ready photos, putting their jackets on, doing whatever. Because that way, if the boys want to get undressed again, like, between now and the ceremony, they can. Like, they can take off their jackets, they can just get undressed and put comfy clothes back on again. Girls can't do that. I like it that once a bride puts her dress on, doesn't come off again until the groom takes it off when they get home. Like, it's not coming back off. And I don't want to be there for that picture. I don't want to be there when he's taking that off.
That is a thing in America where they want the slight undressing right before. Yep. That is a thing.
I have no interest in being there. But we do that. And then so from 12 till 1 with the boys, from 1 till 3 o'clock with the girls, wherever they're getting ready. We head to the ceremony. We would get there for 3:30 for a 4 o'clock ceremony. So we're there half an hour early. That way we can get photos of people arriving. We can get photos of the groom stressing and shaking in his boots at the end of the aisle or whatever's happening. Ceremony from 4 till 4:30. 4:30 to 4:15 is kisses, cuddles, and congratulations. Like, we allocate 15 minutes for the friends and family to just give them a fucking hug. Like, there's nothing worse. If you're a photographer listening to this, there is nothing worse than the couple getting married, walking down the aisle, and then the photographer taking them somewhere else. Like, all these people have fucking come to this wedding to witness this love story and watch their friends get married, and all they want to do is give them a kiss, a cuddle, and put a horseshoe on their wrist. That's all they want to do. So just give them that opportunity. So we give them that 10, 15 minutes, kisses, cuddles, congratulations. Then we do family photos, which everybody does all around the world. That's like 25
Formals.
minutes
Yeah,
worth.
we call them formals, but yeah.
Formals. Yeah, so I call them family and special friends. Formals.
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 My Chicago accent too, like.
Formals. Is that about formals?
Pretty much.
Yeah. I call them family and special friends photos. Essentially, if you woke up the day after your wedding and you were annoyed that you didn't get a photo with X, Y, or Z, put them on that list. And I'm going to take a photo. I'm going to take a nice photo of you with that person. It could be your fucking work friends. It could be your school friends. It could be your friend that you've had for the longest time but didn't make it to the bridal party. Like, whoever. We've got 25, 30 minutes scheduled to take a nice photo of all of the people that you actually want to take a photo with. We do that. And then what I like to do personally, this is very different in Australia. Everybody kind of runs it a little bit differently. But what I like to do is take a nice formal of the bridal party. All the boys, all the girls, all the boys and the boys, or whatever the fuck's up there. And then I take a nice photo of all the boys, a nice photo of all the girls, a nice photo of the bride and the groom, and an individual with the bride and the groom and each member of their bridal party. So we've got a nice formal photo of everybody together. And then I'll send them to cocktail hour in summer. Go to cocktail hour. Go have fun with your friends and family. We're going to come back out at sunset and we'll do all the photos at sunset. So I'll do all the bridal party photos, all the couple session in like 45, 50 minutes at sunset. And we'll go fuck around in the vineyards and pop bottles of champagne and throw people in the air and bump hips and do all the crazy, stupid stuff that we do. And then we enter the reception and just fucking party.
Awesome.
That's a whole day. That's a whole day.
That's a whole day.
Someone can clip that and put it in an email and then they can steal my timeline. But we do that for like every wedding essentially is the same sort of
the
thing,
same.
unless it's winter here. Because winter the sun sets at like 5, which is a bit shit.
Right.
Whereas
Yep.
summer the sun's setting at like 9 p.m. So we've got heaps
Yep.
of time. Heaps of time. So how many are you shooting now?
Like to shoot, and I have a hard time saying no to money. So
Yeah.
we do about 40 to 50 weddings a year. And I know everybody's different. Like, I know there are some people in the luxury market, they're like only doing 25 weddings. Awesome. Love that for you. For me, personally, I also even like to shoot. So sometimes when I pay my associate the same, like, all the time. So if I'm feeling bored on a Saturday, I will go to an associate wedding. So I like to shoot.
And see, this is where like I tried to stop. I tried to go down to like 30 weddings a year. But then like last year, I think it was 6 people like postpone or cancel, which out of 30 weddings, that'll fuck your bottom line. Like you're not going to make any money. People postpone over here all the time for like getting pregnant or just a bunch of stuff. Some people
We
cancel.
honestly don't have that happen that often, except for COVID. But we maybe get 1 or 2 cancellations a year.
No, we get a few. But that terrified me. I was like, if I'm only shooting 30 weddings a year and I lose 5, that's a lot of fucking money that I just now don't have to pay my kids' school fees or my fucking mortgage
100%.
or literally anything else. So I'm back up to shooting more weddings. I think I've got 60 for next year. But you have an editor? Or are you still editing yourself? Yeah,
No.
good. Okay, good. I was like, fuck, maybe I'm about to get myself in trouble. No, because see, I don't do any editing either. I haven't edited in like fucking 4 years.
I know how. Like, so I just did an engagement session this past yesterday, and I was like, I want to edit it myself. So run everything through after shoot, love it, go in, kind of edit whatever I want. But for like the big weddings, I'll just send them out. But we try to do sneak peeks and stuff like that too. So I actually, like I said, I've mentioned Mallory before. She runs the whole business. She usually takes the cards, and we'll send out like 20 to 50 sneak peeks within 48 hours.
So I'll edit all the I edit all the sneak peeks. After she edits all the sneak peeks, and then I go through and do my little tweaks. But even then, my profile now is trained on like 60,000 images. It's pretty fucking good. Like it's
Awesome.
very, very close, especially with the masking and everything it has now as well. Peace. It's just so easy. But our workflow is like, I'll shoot the wedding because I really like shooting the weddings. I want to be on site. I want to be taking photos. That's all I really want to be doing. Because that's the best bit. That's what all the fucking work's for. That's what we did all of this booking and everything for, is so that we can get to the point that we're shooting the wedding. I just want to do the good bit. I just want to eat dessert every day. So we do that. I shoot the wedding. I finish shooting the wedding. I back up on site on my laptop. I got a MacBook. I was looking for my MacBook. It's fucking here. I'm on it. I got a MacBook around here
Remember
somewhere.
like on your phone, and you're like, wait, I gotta find my phone, and then you're like, oh.
Or like looking through your glasses to find your glasses. But I bring my MacBook to the wedding. I back up on site before I leave, so that way I've already got a backup of the wedding before I've even gotten in my car. Because in Australia, kangaroos will try to fucking hit you. Like you're just driving home and kangaroos jump in front of you, so you just need to kind of be prepared.
We have deer. Do you guys have deer?
We have deer, but they're more farmed. They're not wild deer over here. Oh, we do have the occasional wild deer, but you don't see them very often. The kangaroos take over. But yeah, they're literally like just jump in front of your car while you're driving. It's fucking great. But I don't ever want to be in a position where like I'm in a car crash and my camera's breaking that fucks up the SD cards or whatever, and I don't have a backup of that wedding. So I've already backed up the wedding on site. I back up my cards. I run it through after shoot on the drive home. Because everything's like 45 minutes from my house, roughly. Like every wedding destination, 45 minutes to an hour from my house. So by the time I'm back home, I already have it culled. I already have it edited. I just go through and then I'll pick 50 to 100 sneak peeks that I really like. And then I schedule them in the morning so that they go up. And then, so this is like 11, well, maybe about midnight now. I'm scheduling posts for about 8 o'clock in the morning. And then I drag everything to Dropbox. And then my editor and my assistant take over the rest. And then
That's
he goes through
amazing.
and fucking edits everything.
So when I'm done, like, let's say I'm going out after like an engagement session downtown Chicago, I always have this like fear that someone's gonna break into my car and like take all my stuff. So I leave 2 SD cards in my cameras and then take the other 2 and put them. I have a little fanny pack thing.
Nice.
And I put that in there. And even I think the same thing. It's so stupid. Maybe it's because we've gone through so much trauma, but I'm like, if I'm gonna die in a car accident, they're gonna be in the fanny pack.
Yeah. Just get it tattooed, be like, look in the fanny pack. So, like, you know, how people get those med bracelets. You could get one of those, but like SD cards in the fanny pack. Oh my God.
I think about that stuff. I even have I have a will. I have a life insurance policy that if I were to die, that my clients are covered. Like, that's the stuff that I think of.
Yeah, I've often thought of that. I've more thought of it as like an escape. Like, fuck, I've got weddings until 2028. I'm out of here. If I'm dead, I don't need to do anything
You
else.
guys are taken care of. Here's a few million,
Yeah.
like, there you go.
You'll be right. Just pay out the deposits. You'll be fine. Just keep on moving. Oh, fuck, what was I going to talk about? That's something I was going to talk about. There's always something that I wanted to talk about. Oh, no, that's what I was fucking thinking of. Your images. You know the ones. The pictures.
The wow photos. We call them the wow
pictures.
photos.
How many of those? This is a 3-part question. So I'll ask the first one. How many wow images would you deliver roughly on a gallery? Because I know it changes from wedding to wedding, but like those.
So this sounds really stupid, but at least one. But a wow photo is different per wedding. So it doesn't necessarily have to be off-camera lighting, big 14, because they might not have a big dress, they might not have a large veil, but I need to create one wow image, whether it's a big 14 or not. You say you just go in and I just kind of go and these people are awkward and no, I want to make sure that they walk away with something that they're like, Lauren Ashley photographed something like this. So, and people know that I become a psycho about it, but Mallory was like, it's not about you sometimes. There are some people that are so stupid rich where they're like, I don't care. I want to go visit with my family. I don't want to take pictures. And I'm sweating. And Mallory was like, it's not about you. If it's not important to them, it shouldn't be important to you. So regardless, I try to give them something. Or if they tell me no, I make sure that I photograph a lot of the family. I get photos of grandma. Sometimes details are more important to them. It just really depends.
So, and I try to do the same. I do a similar thing. We don't have as much of flashing big dress. Are you shooting on a 14 mil? Is that how you get in super wide?
Those are the 14. Yeah, I usually shoot with a 14. It's a 16 to 24. And I just keep them, the couple in the center, I pull out the dress or the veil, try to get a big building. There's a lot of big buildings in Chicago.
Yeah. So I'm 15 to 35. So I'm very similar. That's how I get my I get big wide detail photos of the whole room with the dress in the middle. And then we shoot, I step back and I'm right up against the bedroom wall. And I'm getting that whole room in the one photo. And this is what I was saying on the fucking vendor table. But Lauren, the other Lauren, Inked Lauren, wouldn't fucking listen. This is where this is what people are paying for, is these images that they couldn't otherwise create themselves. And this is where photography is always this is why people always hire photographers, is to take photos that they couldn't then just go and replicate themselves. The 24 to 70 and the 28 to 70 is a great lens, and it gets lots of those little moments and stuff, but that's the lens that everybody has. Everybody, they buy a camera, they buy a 24 to 70. It's the best starting point. If you're buying a camera, a 24 to 70 is a great place to start. But everybody's seen all of those images so many times because that's what everybody has. Even people that just go on holidays buy a 24 to 70 and that's what they take their photos on. When you can take a photo that people can't immediately figure out how you've taken it, like your more edited images when you had the light beams coming through the church, or even just as simple as a detail photo on a 15mm lens where you've got that whole room in the picture, they're the photos that people are going to stop and be like, oh, wow, like how was that taken? Yeah, they'll probably be able to figure it pretty quickly, but it stops them. It stops them in that moment. They stop it and they go, wow, look at that photo. And that's where photography started. First, photography was like, wow, how did you pause time and get a photo of somebody, like get what is now considered a photo? Like, how did you stop time and that person isn't moving? Then we moved to, how do you take such good photos? I've got my little point and shoot film camera. How are you taking photos that are so crisp and clear? And that's where photography was like, wow, I can't believe you did that. That's amazing. And that's why you hire a wedding photographer, is to get those photos. And now the barrier of entry to professional photography is so fucking low that anybody can go down to Best Buy and buy a camera and buy a 24-70 and buy a LUT pack from fucking Dusty Boots or whatever it's called and call themselves a wedding photographer. These other images is what's going to differentiate people outside of that spectrum. But yeah, that's why I like the 15mm lens, because it does that. Like, you can get a photo of the whole dance floor. You can be on the dance floor and take a photo and get fucking everybody in it. So good.
I also live by the expression, shoot high, shoot low, shoot near, shoot far. That also is such a great thing to live by, because photographers don't do that. They just stand there and they click, and then it's like, I'm on the ground. Like, anybody that knows me or have watched my videos, I am laying on the floor. I'm climbing a tree. Like, I'm really tight. I'm really, shooting out far. I think that's exactly what you say, is like, it's going to separate you from everybody else that's doing the same thing. But it takes a special person to shoot a wedding. Like, not anybody can shoot a wedding.
Special type of stupid, I like to call it.
100%. You have to be able to handle it. Wait, so I'm curious, because you were talking about like how you were like, I don't shoot the luxury market. I do. How do you handle somebody that's extremely difficult? Like, do you just stop them, or are you like...
Yeah, essentially. I had a groom once. I was doing an engagement shoot with someone just before the wedding. So it was like 3 months before the wedding. I was doing an engagement shoot. Much to people's surprise, I do engagement shoots. I just don't market them because I don't want to be the engagement photographer. I want to be the wedding photographer. Only thing I post online are my wedding photos, so that whenever anybody thinks of Josh Huggett, they think Josh Huggett, wedding photographer. Behind the scenes and like in welcome guides and stuff, we sell engagement shoots, but online, I don't want someone to fucking come up to me and be like, hey man, can you shoot my engagement shoot for like 600? But like, I don't want that. I want to fucking shoot your wedding for 10 grand. Like, I don't want that other end. But yeah, I was doing an engagement shoot with a couple, Keely and Liam. Fucking love them so much. Liam came, big farmer boy, tough, had his fucking had a cap on that was like down like this over his head. He had sunglasses on, wouldn't smile, just like didn't want to be there. And I took a few photos and I was like, these aren't good because he's not playing along. And I went to Liam and I was like, Liam, there's two ways that we can do this. I can either keep taking photos and they're all going to look like shit and you're going to get in trouble from Keely, or you can get your finger out of your ass, you can start smiling, you fucking paid me to be here and we're going to take some good photos. If you don't like it, like at that time, I was doing really, I like to ease my couples into photos so we don't do heaps of kissy stuff and when you get really emotional and really close, I like to do that towards the end of the session, once they're all a little bit horny because they've been touching the whole time. I was like, I can skip this foreplay and I'll fucking make you kiss on camera right now, or you can fucking keep going on like this, or we can have a good time and get some good photos. And I think it's a bit easier because I'm fucking 6'6", covered in tattoos, and I have a personality or a brand where I'm allowed to tell people whatever I want. But yeah, he came around pretty quickly. I was like, give me your fucking hat. So I took his hat off his head. I put his hat on my head. I was like, give me your fucking sunglasses and go and walk with your missus. Otherwise, you're going to pay me a lot of money for a bunch of shit photos because I'm still coming.
Awesome.
Probably
we don't do that.
Suggest you do that to people. Yeah. So how do you handle... You've got this, and like what Mallory said, sometimes you just can't get that image and it's not that important. But I always try to get a good photo. I need to see on the back of my camera a photo that I'm like, phew, okay, cool. We've got the canvas photo, the one that they're going to fucking print out. How do you then go about sort of trying to create those images at a wedding that isn't that sort of wedding? You know, like if you've got somewhere and there's not that big building, do you have like mine is, and this is really fucking, I'll just put somebody outside and put a flash behind them and everybody else goes, oh, wow. How did you do that? That's my like, fuck, we didn't get anything. The sunset was shit. It's been raining all day. Or Under the Veil. Under the Veil here still fucking pops in Australia. People love it. Everybody gives me shit online about doing Under the Veil photos because they're so 2007 or something in America. But in Australia, we fucking love them. Under the Veil. People buy veils just for me to take that photo because they really like it. So they will like not wear a veil on their wedding day, but have one for the photos so that I can take that nice photo of them. But they're my two go-tos. It's like, oh, fuck, we've got nothing. Like, it's been raining. It's windy. The sunset was shit. We haven't been outside. Quick, get that clear umbrella out the back of the car. We're going to fuck... And there's a venue here in Adelaide, Auru Farm, that I love, and I shoot there a lot. And if we haven't been able to get a good photo, the owner of the venue's told me where the hose is. And we stand in front of the greenhouse, and even if it's a 40-degree day, she's told me where the hose is, and I get the best man to spray the hose so it looks like it's raining, and we can take the rain photo.
I love that.
Cheating. What's your go-to? What's your safety net? If you don't want to...
one of the comments that I need to maybe say is we bring veils in our vehicles. So like if we're like, we got nothing. The reason we started doing that, I will never forget, was this client paid me in my opinion, way too much money and was like, showed up, had no veil, like very short dress, no train. And she's like, I want sending me photos of like what she wanted. But when she showed up, she didn't have it. We ran over to a fabric store, bought one. And then she's like, these are amazing. We love these. So ever since then, we like keep a veil in the car. I mean, I guess the go-to the off-camera lighting, like exactly what you said, like softbox in the front with a grid on it, light in the back. We have it's like a smoke ninja. I don't know if you've seen those, but you can use like the spray aerosol. You do that.
I've got it. Oh, you can't see it. I've got magician spray on this shelf here. I've got like 15 cans just in case.
Just in case. We just, like, people don't know what we do, but we literally try to create magic and leave it in our car because if we can't, like, we have something up our sleeve that they're like, oh yeah, no, they were awesome. Because then people are like, oh my God, you were amazing. Thank you so much. And they're like, okay.
It's so fun. I'm okay. And see, this is where, like, it's hard. Like, I don't ever... There will be weddings where I'm, like, stressing the fuck out because in my mind, I haven't got the photo. I haven't got the thing that I need to go home and be like, oh, yeah, I did a good job today. And that also comes with, like, heaps of imposter syndrome, which will never go away. And I think imposter syndrome is a good thing. I think everybody should have it. Quickly on imposter syndrome, why I talk about it, I think everybody should have imposter syndrome because it's the difference maker in what makes you get better versus somebody that's like, no, my photos are fucking sick, and then nothing changes and they don't get any better and they don't learn anything. Whereas I'll post a gallery, I'll be like, I love all of these photos. And then I look at them in the morning and I'm like, what the fuck happened? How am I even in a job? It's the worst.
100%. I tell people all the time, you know, I've done really well on like Instagram and TikTok, and I every single time get terrified to post. It's so stupid. Don't know why. In my mind now, I'm like, too many people are watching me, and I feel like people are going to be like, she's a fraud. I don't know why this goes in my head, but it does.
And see, this is where it's difficult for you because you've made an entire brand around being a really good photographer. My brand is about just being an arsehole. So I can just continue to be an arsehole, whereas you have to take good photos.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. And it's changed a lot in America where like film, like people are paying us extra to shoot on film. People want the grainy look now. People want us to shoot video on Super 8s now.
Yeah. It's happening here.
Is that happening
people
in
are like,
Australia?
it's starting. It's not as like nothing that happens in America really takes off over here that much. We just we have our own little world here where we just fucking hang out. We have a good time. We don't want to stress about anything. We do have film photos and there's film photographers here and people are doing Super 8, but it's not as much. But like all the softbox photos that come out of America don't exist here. Those photographers don't get booked. Nobody wants it at all.
The softbox, like off-camera lighting, you mean?
None of it. They don't get booked.
That's okay.
Like, I see...
I'm actually planning... Nikon Australia wants me to come out to Australia, so I might be out there, because otherwise I'm never shooting a wedding out there, but I might be able to see you when I'm out there.
Yeah, come out. I'm also a free agent, so I can come to a Nikon event. Interesting that Nikon Australia will pay you to come out. That's good. But like you see, like I see the photo, like just in general, like Nikon Australia doesn't, from what I've seen, they don't do that much out here. And there's an issue.
Nothing has been signed, just to be very clear. I mean, I am signed with Nikon in the U.S., but as far as with Nikon Australia, I mean, they might be vouching for me here and then trying to get me over there, but nothing's been signed yet. But they've been talking about it. Yeah. There's like a photo conference, a big photo conference that you guys have out there that they asked me to... Oh, no. Okay.
I don't go to conferences. I don't know. I work. Maybe this is a conversation off fucking podcast about Nikon Australia. Being a little cannon boy over here. Oh, right, let's get through some of these fucking little fiery questions that I got for you, Loz.
I'm ready.
I started with Loz straight out of the gate, which is short for Lauren in Australia, forgetting that you're not here. You're in America. Anyway, lightning round questions because you're an American guest and I need to keep up with American standards because otherwise I don't do these. What's your go-to coffee order before a wedding shoot?
I'm very basic. I am cream and sugar. That's it.
Yes, but your cream, we just have milk.
Oh, I have flavored creamer, yes. So we do flavored creamer. I do like French vanilla or hazelnut or whatever I have.
Oh, fancy.
I have also, it's called an Nespresso machine.
Is that like a pod machine where you just put the pod in?
No, pod machine, but it's meant to create an espresso.
Oh, fancy. I just have black coffee because it's just like my soul. I have so much coffee in my cup that they question me when I order it. They're like, "Are you sure? Are you sure you want this many?"
I have for sure a caffeine problem. Yeah. Like I mean, even before I started this, I was like, I need a cup of coffee.
Yeah, that's what I had in here in the branded mug because
I love that.
Everything's branded all of the time. What's the first thing that you do when you get home after a wedding?
I have a massage chair, and it has been the best investment that I've ever got in my life. And I sit in it for 30 minutes, and then sometimes I read, and then I go to bed.
Oh, what's the most underrated part of a wedding day to photograph?
What we talked about it is the grandparents, or like literally the little moments where people would typically pass over them.
Yeah. What's one piece of gear that you can't live without on a wedding day? Obviously not a camera because that's the job. Probably a fanny pack.
My off-camera lighting.
Off-camera lighting. Interesting. I could live without off-camera lighting forever.
I'm sure you.
I could. Favorite wedding location you've ever shot at?
Bali.
Bali. Did you really like Bali?
Love Bali. I know it's super close for you guys because you guys all go on holiday over there all the time.
Yeah, that's where all the bogans go for holidays is Bali.
I personally love Bali. It's gotten a little touristy. Like, it's still beautiful. I guess I should probably say if people were like, what was the best wedding I ever shot, was like a multi-million-dollar royal wedding in Paris. And when I tell people this, that does not happen all the time. Like, they're very few and far in between, but it was insane, the amount of money. And they were those clients where they were like 3 hours late for the ceremony. Like, just, I can't say who it was because I had to sign an NDA for it, but I was like so stressed. And when I gave it to them, they were like, these are the greatest pictures ever. And I was like, awesome.
No worries. It's those ones we delivered a gallery recently, and I was stressing. Literally just got a review from them today, and they fucking love the photos. But it was like super foggy. You couldn't see 2 meters in front of you. I'm doing family photos outside because they wanted the family photos outside, and I'm looking through my viewfinder, and I'm watching the fog come across my screen, and I can't see the couple. Like, they're just kind of like hazy. And we had to like wait for a cloud to stop so that I could get a photo. The bridal party session was literally 8 minutes because it was 6 degrees outside and the girls were too cold. And she had a huge Lauren Ashley style dress, but it was wet and she didn't want to walk to get it wet, which is fair because she spent so much money on this dress. And normally you look out the windows of this venue and there's just rolling hills and it's all pretty and beautiful. It was literally just like that curtain. It was just white. That you could not see outside the windows because of the fog. So I had to and this is where learning different types of photography kind of helps you, because I was able to switch into more of like an editorial style shoot. And it's Mount Lofty House here in Adelaide for anybody that knows the venue, but it's like an old house where you can kind of like walk through the halls and there's heaps of room. So we just went for like a walk, and I did more of like an editorial style, direct flash, them like kissing in the elevator and all this sort of stuff. And I was fretting because I hadn't got my my things that I need to get. But they fucking love them. They love every single photo. They said they're perfect. They captured the day. And I genuinely believe it's because I shot some photos of the whole bridal party and them with the big, beautiful house in the background on the 15mm lens. So I'm like super low. The couple are there and you can just see this big house in the background. And I think that was my saving grace, was that 15mm. So thank you.
So you're 6'6". So in my mind, I'm like, a shoot high, shoot low. You just go.
I just shoot. Shoot high and then get on the ground to be at everybody else's level.
You have to lay on the ground practically.
But I can literally lift my hands up and shoot a photo from like 3 meters in the sky.
I am so jealous.
I don't even need a drone. I'm the human drone.
That is amazing.
Yeah, but that saved the day. It's that 15mm lens again. This is going to be a great little ad for Canon or Nikon. What was the next one? The most chaotic but hilarious behind the scenes moment.
Mine have been really traumatic, so I'm always like, I honestly can't think of one other than for us it became hilarious after, but we had a client, she was 2 hours late. She was screaming at us that we didn't get enough pictures. And she's like, you didn't get photos of me and the bridesmaids? I'm like, I did. I checked. And then I got this long, lengthy email on how I was rushing her and all this stuff. And I was like, ChatGPTing it, And then afterwards, she gets her photos into there. She's like, they're great. I love them. Thank you. And I'm like, oh my God.
Sometimes the most stressed brides on the day can actually be the ones that like their photos the most. And then the more relaxed they are, they're kind of like, well, why didn't you take all these photos? You didn't want to have your photo taken, remember? Remember when we said, hey, it's time to go take photos, and you're like, oh yeah, I just want to do this first, and then you left and you didn't come back. Anyway, what's your dream celebrity couple to photograph? If you could pick anybody.
Oof.
I mean, it's hard because you're already fucking doing them.
You know what? I can't really think of anybody because there's nobody. There are no celebrities. I don't want to be like, I don't not like them. But, I don't know. I photographed my best friend's wedding. I love this. So stupid. I'm so sentimental. I am not into celebrities. So, sorry, guys.
Well, I did the same thing with,
that's all I care.
on the vendor table, and they're like, where's your dream venue? I don't have a dream venue. I just like my people. Yeah. I just want to just shoot weddings with the people that I enjoy being around, rather than
exactly.
You're like, oh, I really want to shoot fucking Brad and Angelina. That'd be amazing. I feel like the more longevity and everything that you have, and the more weddings that you've actually shot, the more you realize it's less about the people themselves, but it's actually just about the people themselves. If that doesn't make sense, but it's not about a celebrity status. You could take photos of celebrities and they could be fuckheads, but you could have the most amount of fun in the world just shooting Jane and Bob from down the road that are just vibing.
Celebrity and like royal people, they're just people. Like I remember when I did my first like big wedding, and I remember being terrified, and the woman that hired me was the mom of the groom, and she hugged me, and I was like, and I came way too dressed up. I came in like a royal gown. I mean, like it was like poofy shoulders, long dress. I meet her. She's got like no makeup and like sweatpants, and she's like, "Wow, you look really nice." And I'm like, "Oh my God." And then she hugs me. She's like, "I'm so happy you're here." And she had us sit in the venue like to eat, and that is like unheard of, especially for like high-end weddings. But then there's other really nice celebrity weddings that I've worked, and they're like, they treat you like garbage. You are just a vendor. You are just a commodity. You show up, you don't ask questions, and you are eating in the stairwell like that.
And I spoke about this with Cassidy about how, because we were talking about those super high end, like going in fucking People magazine or whatever, like the big celebrity weddings, and how so many people sort of aspire to be there. But really, it doesn't actually sound like that much fun, because you would just be treated like staff. They're not hiring you for, because they want to hang out with you and be together and have a good time. You're just like a waiter, like a fucking literally any other staff member on the day, and you just kind of get treated like shit. That doesn't sound fun. That doesn't sound like a good day.
Well, and for you, especially, people hire you for your personality, right? People hire you because they know you're going to be an asshole. Like, and for me, people hire me, they know that I'm going to show up dressed to the nines. They know I'm going to show up and take control of the day and create magazine style photos. And I would rather have someone hire me because they like me rather than, well, she's the most expensive thing here and, trying to show off. And that's how I have felt before. So I would rather photograph someone that was really in love and not because they're trying to put on a show.
See, I have a thing at the moment where people are hiring me and I am the most expensive thing there. And it's super stressful. Super fucking stressful. Adds a whole nother layer to this fucking job. Because I now when people like accept their quotes and stuff, because like I've always severely undervalued my work, and I'll work for like whatever because I just like shooting. And now people are accepting quotes, and my wife's like, "Fucking hell, mate, you better turn up. You better turn on that day." I'm like, "Oh fucking hell!" Like, I'll have the flu, and I'm like, yeah, "Let's go, let's party, let's have a really good time." I'm just trying to get through, but. Right, two more, and then I want you to finish this out. Wait, first one. Oh, you don't even need to answer the fucking last one because you don't edit anymore. Anyway, biggest red flag in a wedding inquiry for you?
Too many questions.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Like when they send you like, "I'm sorry, guy. If you're a bride, I am so sorry." But like when you guys send me that question that you found on Google, like...
That fucking wedding blog post that's like top 15 questions to ask your wedding photographer. What is your contract? Can I read your contract? Do you offer photography? Is it more to purchase more photos? If so, just get on a fucking call. Like, you don't need to ask that. Just make it simple. Just be like, "Hey, love your photos. How much do you cost?
Are you available?" That's all you have to ask.
How much do you cost? Are you available? Can I come? Do you travel? Is normally one. Favorite editing song, which you don't edit anymore, but what's your favorite playlist right now? What are you listening to? I
am a huge Wicked fan. I don't know why, but it is like if I am really stressed out and I'm like on the verge of a nervous breakdown, I'm like, I just want to listen to Popular off of the Wicked soundtrack.
That's not bad.
So stupid. So my boyfriend, whenever I'm like being really aggressive, he'll be like, "Alexa, play Popular."
It's not bad. I go through phases where I'll get heaps stressed out, and this is fucking really embarrassing to mention out loud. But I'll chuck on the High School Musical soundtrack. High School Musical 1.
I love that.
Oh.
It makes you like where you're like that like good feeling where you're like, I feel like garbage. I just need to feel a little bit better.
Because like normally, like day to day, 99% of my life, I'm listening to like the deepest, darkest death metal with like the fastest drums, the grungiest guitar, talking about like singing about like whatever, and it sounds like an actual fucking pterodactyl singing it to you. But then sometimes
You
I
have a
just want to listen to
sentimental
Zac
side.
Efron sing to me. I just want him to tell me everything's going to be okay. Right, last thing, just because I feel like it would be a travesty if we didn't do it, mainly because I've got fucking no idea how to educate on it. If somebody wanted to hire or someone wanted to get booked by more higher end clients, what would be like 3 or 4 things that somebody should do to kind of like elevate themselves or try to get into that sort of like higher end market?
If they wanted to get into the higher end market, number one, it should be relationships with wedding planners, venues. Like, I am in my year of relationships. And it's not just wedding planners. It's like people like you and the vendor table and everybody else. Creating relationships will start to be like, oh my God, I'm thinking of Lauren Ashley because she went above and beyond for me that one day. I will teach wedding planners social media. Like I will meet them for lunch. I will do certain things. You want to be able to put yourself out there. And this sounds really stupid because people may not agree, but shoot for free for high-end weddings, high-end venues, high-end clients. So for a while, before I blew up, I was like going to venues and be like, if you find a client that you absolutely love and they are beautiful and it is a venue that I want to photograph at, I'll be like, I will shoot it for free. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, because now I have an in. I have an in with a venue. I'm able to post the venue. I have a beautiful couple. And now I'm creating really great relationships with all of these people. People have always said putting your vendors first is more important than just putting the client first because you're going to continually work with vendors for the rest of your life. Shoot high end, and that goes into shooting high end clients. You can make fun of me. I am not a super stylized shoots fan now, but I was when I first started, where I would hire models, I would hire, florals, I would shoot and reach out to venues and be like, can I shoot here for free and give you really great content? And I sucked back then and people still told me yes.
See, but even then, like, you're organizing it. So you're still doing the work. Where the issues are that I have is when people don't do any work and they just fucking turn up and take photos and then claim that they've done it all themselves. At least you're still showcasing photos of things that you've done. Like you organized you did all of the work and then you're showcasing it. It's when people just turn up and they're like, oh, look at all of this stuff I did, when really you just took a couple of photos on a kit lens and somebody else did the florals and somebody else organized the venue, and like that's your vision that you had, and then you were able to take the photos and do it, rather than just like paying your $1,000, turning up and taking the same photos as everybody else that somebody else has set up. Very different things. And I'm also very, very pro working for free. I think that's the best way to get experience, the best way to build your portfolio, the best way to like actually learn the job, rather than like trying to cheat your way there, which is what so many people are trying to do, is like just start being a wedding photographer and like they go to a style shoot or whatever and they fucking get some photos and then they're like, I am a wedding photographer now. I've got photos. Look, I've done it. Whereas like there's a reason that wedding photography is called the Olympics of photography, because you have to do everything. You have to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of something else, a little bit of crowd control, a little bit of accounting, a little bit of fucking like fucking product photography, a little bit of couple photography. You got to do some fly on the wall stuff. You've always got to do sports photos when they're walking back down the aisle. Like there's so much that you need to do. And I feel like people go into these weddings really, really, really underprepared for what's actually happening. And then they're risking real people's wedding days for their own gain. Like, oh yeah, someone's paid me $1,500. Like, I'm a wedding photographer now, even though they don't have any experience. And it's all fun and games for us photographers to talk about it. And we're like, don't do it. You don't. But like, these are real fucking people that are having probably the only wedding they're ever going to have. And so many photographers are risking those wedding days, their only wedding photos, based off like a 45-minute shoot that they've done one time. And so, yeah, working for free, like even just to fucking learn. This is why I've always had people come and work for free with me whenever they want. If somebody wants to come and shoot a wedding with me, if I've got a spot in my calendar and you can work that day, great. Come and make sure that you actually like the job before taking a bunch of deposits and realizing you don't like it, but then you've already spent the money, so you just kind of ghost the couple. Like, I'll always have people come out and shoot, but anyway, yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. So, and I also have people come and shadow me, but I tell them when they come and shadow, do not post these until you know how to do it. Like, even when I'm teaching, I do workshops, and I am doing workshops outside here, and I don't want to call them style shoots because it's like I'm teaching them how to do it, but I say the same spiel where I'm like, do not post these unless you have enough experience, because you're going to have a client be like, do this pose, do this shot, do the wow shot with the wide dress, and you're not going to know how to do it until you've practiced.
And this is where, the way I run my workshops, because I host them, I host workshops over here, is I only ever do my workshops with real couples. So, like, I'll put a story out on my Instagram or something. I'm like, I need 4 couples that want to come and take their photos done. And I will do a tiny bit of posing. I'll show them, like, this is what we're going to do. This is how you do it. And now it's your turn. You do it. You're going to learn. And if you fuck it up, I'm here. I'll teach you how to do it better. But I'm giving you the opportunity to practice on a real couple. Like, I've got a real couple in front of you that they're not going to be models. They're not going to know how to turn it out and fucking get ready. We're going to work on it together. You're going to get better. These guys are going to get some great photos because I'll make sure I take my photos as well. But learn. Here's a couple. Take pictures. Pose them like you've seen online. Make sure you can fucking do it. We'll give you that opportunity before you go out and fuck something. So, yeah.
I do have one last thing I probably mention, because I am really pushing it, and I have been telling other photographers to do this. One of my favorite things about you, Josh, is you are your true, authentic self online. And that is what I absolutely love about you. And even though you and I are two totally different people, which we have found out today that we're not, but like...
Trauma brings us together.
Trauma bonding. More people need to do that, especially in this industry. More and more people are looking for that, because I'm sure you get this all the time. People will call me and hire me because they saw me crying on the internet, and maybe for you being an asshole. Like, I saw this, I thought this was absolutely amazing, or, you know, whatever it is. I think more and more people need to be more authentic, more vulnerable, and not be afraid to be their real selves on the internet. Because what's happening is these people are like scared, and then these clients don't know who they're getting. They might see that you take beautiful photographs, but if you're not showing who you are and your personality, they might be like, I don't really know exactly who I'm getting. Why would they want to hire you in the first place?
This is where I had a really big disconnect when I first started, because I was like being myself, and I was like myself on Zoom calls, and I was myself in, like, I was trying to make my emails a bit more professional, but like my personality was kind of like seeping in. And then I would turn up to a wedding day in like suit pants and a white shirt and my like whole, yeah, it's fucked. It's absolutely disgusting. And I Googled, what does a wedding like boy wedding photographer outfit, boy wedding photographer clothes, boy wedding photographer alternative, and they're just all like, they all wear the same cookie cutter shit. But there was this disconnect where I was like, I'm this hardcore kid that just like wants to fucking hang out and have a good time. And then I was dressed as a fucking square as I turned up to these weddings because I thought that's what I needed to do. Mm-hmm. And then we slowly transitioned and now we're here. But
and that's awesome. And like talking to Lauren, she's like, I got the tats, I swear. I'm like, that is awesome. That for me isn't something that I personally like to do. Not in a bad way. Like, it's awesome. Be your true authentic self. I like to dress up. I like to look nice. I like to be dressed to the nines, but I also like photographing those types of higher end weddings. Not that you're not going to get a higher end wedding, but it might be more like the swearing and the tattoos and the crazy. That's awesome, you know? But in the luxury market, they kind of try to teach like as far as like the swearing and stuff goes, they try to get away from that.
Yeah, and that's why I don't want to fucking be there. I don't want to be there. That sounds like shit. There are some weddings here that I go to and they're like a bit fancier than what I'm used to, and I'm like, oh, I don't fit in here. What's going on? I'm in my Dickies Vans and Josh Huggett Media t-shirt, and I'm like, oh well, I'm already here now. So, yeah, I like those ones when people look at me. See, I like it now because I just don't give a fuck. I just do whatever you want. Like, I'll turn up
They
anywhere.
know what they're getting when they hire you.
Yeah.
It's all over the internet.
It's all over the internet,
It's
and
not
I've
like
also put
this is a surprise.
Yeah, it's all over my website as well. Like, it's on my website. I have photos of me working in shorts and a t-shirt that are branded. Like,
Have you ever had anybody ask you to dress up?
I had somebody say that they're having a no black wedding and nobody's allowed to wear black, and I said no thanks. That's all I fucking own. You literally open my wardrobe. Every single item of clothing is black, except I have one grey jumper and one brown jumper, which I use to separate my hoodies from my t-shirts. That is it. Like, that's all I wear.
You'd probably be disgusted at how many outfits I have. And I have a problem.
I just wear AS color t-shirts like this. And I see like, but this is where it comes into it as well. Like, because you built out that brand, you can claim all your clothes on tags. Do you claim
100%.
your clothes on tags? Yeah, exactly. See, I claim all of my clothes. Like, I just wear the same clothes every day. I've 15 Joshua Huggett Media t-shirts. I now have 6 Tog Talk t-shirts. I've got 6 Joshua Huggett Media hoodies, and I wear Dickies. I wear the same clothes every day. Doesn't matter when you see me, I'm either wearing a band shirt or a Josh Huggett Media t-shirt. And my entire wardrobe is a tax deduction. I just wear the same clothes. And this is where, like, I mean, maybe I'll need to get a financial advisor or fucking something on here to talk about it, but like actually claiming things to bring down your income and all that sort of stuff. But that's a whole different fucking episode. Loza, can you tell everybody on the internet where they can find you if they don't know who you are and what you do and just that stuff? Do that bit.
My name is Lauren Ashley from Lauren Ashley Studios. I am in Chicago, United States. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. If you type in Lauren Ashley Studios, you will 100% find me anywhere on YouTube, anywhere. Just Lauren Ashley Studios, one word, and you will be able to find me on any social media platform.
Isn't it crazy? Do you get people still ask you for business cards? And I'm like, I've got them.
We do,
but
yeah,
just like...
but I usually don't have them. But Mallory does. She is my most organized person. If this business would not be running without her. So I'll be like, people will be like, do you have a business card? And I'll be like, go ask her.
Yeah, I just tell people to Google Josh. Like, if you type in Josh Huggett, something will come up. It'll fucking be there. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Tog Talk. If you're still here, thank you very much. If you haven't already, just like give us a follow because nobody does that on fucking Spotify. Anyway, I'm Josh. This has been great. Just let me know that I really fucking love you no matter where you are in this world. Until the next time you hear my voice in your little ear holes, I hope you have a fantastic day. Peace.
Love you.
Stop.